Welcome to the Live Free Talk Show. We're so glad that you're tuned in every day with us this week. So now we have some spicy subjects to talk about. Ladies, it's a great discussion. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So what about this Dr. Umar Johnson that, I've been hearing you all sizzling all across the studio today about this Dr. Umar Johnson. So let's discuss it. Let's go ahead and open it on up. Talk to me.
So recently, Dr. Umar said that, so we know that Serena Williams got engaged and married to a Caucasian gentleman.
Right. Yep.
And so Dr. Umar proceeds to go in on poor Serena about how him as a white man couldn't possibly know what to do with Serena and how she was selling out for marrying a white man and having mixed babies.
Oh, Lord.
And I was so upset about that. Because, first of all, why Serena? Why pick on her? There's been so many other, Saldana, so many other beautiful, Halle Berry.
Right.
Hello. Yeah. So many other beautiful actresses and athletes that have married white men before. Why are we picking on Serena? Serena seems to be the target of a lot, doesn't she?
Yeah,
absolutely.
She seems to be
absolutely.
lately.
Absolutely. And Dr. Umar is in everybody's news because he seems to bully people.
Yes.
He kind of like comes after different people.
So
very
strong
personality about that for multiple reasons. And I know you've been paying attention to it a lot too.
Yes. So Dr. Johnson, if he's a doctor, because that was some of the speculation that they don't know if he's a doctor or not. But he went on Roland Martin to kind of clear the air and plead his case. And so what really got everybody talking was he said that he does not respect black men that date white women or that marry white women. And so his exact quote was, "The black family is under attack. The black woman, only 1 out of 4 black women gets married. Black women is likely to get married, last married, first divorced. Yep. We have 2/3 of our children being raised by working class and impoverished black female-led households. The destruction of a nation begins at home of its families, and we want to save black people. We have to save the black family. In order to do that, black men have to commit themselves to black women." So that was like, the panel went off because there's only, I believe, 47 million black people in America versus 100 and so million white people in America. So the panelists were saying, like, how is this possible? Where do you get your back-ended, suggestions from? Right. We are in 2017, and, I believe that there are some white people that have helped us along the way, but Dr. Umar Johnson is saying no, they have not done anything to help us progress along the way, and you're like sleeping with the enemy is what he was trying to say.
I have a real problem with that because, first of all, regardless of if their race has done something for us, what does that have to do with love? If these actresses and these athletes and these people that are in the spotlight, because let's just face it, that's why they're getting attacked, because they're in the spotlight. Right. If they fall in love with someone who is of a different race, I don't care what race it is. If they're of a different race, why does it matter? They fell in love with who they fell in love with.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Okay. So as we're all black women up here, and this is So according to blackdemographics.com, 25% of black men marry non-black women, and only 12% of black women marry outside of their race. So my question, and I'm just speaking from my experience, because I say, Lord, if you, however you give it to me, I'll take it. But I want black love. I want to be able to sit down with my husband and him and me understand each other, us have black children and be able to raise them knowing what's happening in this world. Because I'm sorry, they, Caucasians and other people of color, they don't understand the black experience, and they will never be able to understand the black experience. So, as black women on this panel, are you looking for that black love? And if it didn't come, because Serena did try. I mean,
she did.
It wasn't like she was just like all black, all white. She tried. I think Drake, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know any others, but Common. She did try black love. And once, I think for me, once you get the same after the same after the same, not saying that these men are the same, but you like, hey, I need to try something different because,
Well, I don't know much about Dr. Umar Johnson. I'm not very versed in that, and so we've already discussed that. But I still have a problem with this a little bit because I think dating out of your race is fine, but then I think that if you say, well, I've tried black men and I don't want a black man, wait. All black men are not the same.
No,
just because then that means all black women are the same.
Right,
absolutely.
And even though all four of us are up here and we're black women, we do not go home. We are not the same women. We do not create the same cultures in our homes.
Absolutely.
We don't create the same environments. Absolutely. You can go home and you will see diverse culture.
Yes.
Even in our black culture. Right. So I don't like that. I hear a lot of black women go, all black men are the same. Hold on, wait a second, sister. I have a great black man who is a king at my house.
Right.
And I am absolutely love him. I love our black love. I love how he covers our household.
Yes.
I love his love. I love his honor, his mutual respect for me.
Salute
and I am so glad that I've had his children. Yes. And I'm so glad that we have sons together that will carry on his name and his legacy. Right. So no, I don't think that all black men are bad men.
Here's my thing. Okay. So my take on it is to go back to Dr. Umar, and I know it's a very controversial subject, but I did not hear one lie told. At all. I didn't. And what you just said, the statistics, it is true. Black women have a higher divorce rate.
We do.
And what I think it's actually the other way around. I don't think it's that we're saying all black men are the same. I think our black kings are saying, I'm done dealing with that angry black woman, so I am stepping outside of my race because I want somebody who's exotic and who looks different. So I think it's the other way around, and we're having more black men that are looking at other women outside of their race to date and to marry. True. So they'll have fun with us. And they will date and marry somebody outside of their race.
And can I tell you I'm not mad at Serena because this is the thing. I've had conversations locally with African American males and beyond, right? Because I'm not from here. Yes. And they have confirmed with what you just said.
Yes.
But I'm not mad at her, to bring it back to Serena.
Yeah.
If she was in a relationship with whoever, because we don't know the long list of other black males that she was in a relationship with, if she was in a relationship and not getting what she needed, like we talked about previously, if she wasn't getting the tenderness and the understanding and the listening and the uplifting, then I am not mad at her.
I agree.
You need to seek other options and go other places.
Exactly.
You go where you want, sister.
That's right.
You need to,
and if you're happy,
pursue other things, and you're happy.
That's right.
And he's giving you and fulfilling you, then why not?
I agree.
Why not?
I'm assuming that she's a more internally deeper woman than skin deep.
Right.
Absolutely.
And so I think she met a great guy.
Yes.
She wasn't going, I'm going to go seek out a white guy. Yes. She met a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
She loved his being.
Yes.
She loved his respect.
Yes.
They had something in common.
Yes.
And they knew they could build something.
Right.
Absolutely.
I don't think they looked at each other and said, oh, your skin. Mm-hmm. I think they looked at each other and said, I like who you are and you are attractive to me no matter what your package is.
Yes.
And that I want to build life with.
Yes.
And I believe that that's where they start. Any relationship should start from that premise alone.
Definitely.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
So now let's talk about something. I think we're right here on women. Let's talk about professional women and how we conduct ourselves in the professional environment. Mm-hmm. We got some no-nos that we do as women as a whole. Why do we always say, I'm sorry? Why do we do that?
You know, go ahead.
Okay, I have a problem with that. I can honestly say I have a true problem with that. And I know that is something that I need to work on from my core. I had a student, a regular student, and she's like, Mickey, do you know that you said I'm sorry to the class 17 times? And I was like, really? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to work on that, because I do that. And I believe it comes from feeling like you're worthy, feeling like, that self-worthiness, that self-assurance that I got this. Yeah. And I know just in my professional life, sometimes you feel inadequate. You feel like, okay, I can't step up like some women, and you look outside instead of looking inside and being like, I am everything that God created me to be, and I'm good here. We look on the outside. So I can definitely say that I do that all the time, and I'm working on it.
Yes.
Well,
go ahead. Sis.
Yeah. So what about the box for professional women as well? It's like you have to stay within this tidy box, and you remain there.
Yes.
Right.
And don't step outside of that, because then you are no longer a professional woman.
Right. Exactly.
So you need to carry yourself as such, dress as such, speak as such,
Mm-hmm.
and then have this certain lingo as well to fit in with other professional women.
Absolutely.
Why is that? And that's been a big stigma.
I think that
hate
came
that.
from the male-dominated society.
Right.
Professionalism traditionally came from males setting the standard of what it is to be a professional.
Yes.
I agree.
And so
I
I think
agree.
that we apologize. We stay in this tidy box because we were told, if you don't look like this picture of professionalism and what it is to be a professional, then you will not get respect, and you also will not succeed and get ahead. And so I think that no one has told us that it's okay to not be this cookie cutter box.
Right.
And we have many facets to ourselves as women, and it's okay to break outside of that. No one told us it's okay, so then we apologize. We feel insecure, and we walk on eggshells.
Yes.
And so I think that's
Absolutely.
where it comes from for me.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, I think that we as women sometimes we deviate from the facts, and so whenever we are not on the facts, we then begin to get in emotionalism, and then when we get into emotionalism, that's when we apologize the most. So we just stick with our facts. We know who we are, we know what we know, and we're great at it. Stand with that and let the rest go.
Exactly.
Another thing that they say that we do is we always say, to be honest. To be honest.
As if we're lying.
To be honest.
Right.
Why do we do that?
I heard, so I was eavesdropping on one of your conversations with someone, and you told them, stop trying to prove to people that you are validated. Just be who you are.
Oh, that's
and
powerful.
let them watch you. I've been listening to you. Let them watch you be validated in your actions.
Yes.
And I think that we always say, I have this problem where I always want to prove to people that I'm being sincere or honest, or that what I'm saying is true and worthy. And so I think the to be honest comes out of that place, that we must prove that we're worthy and we're right and we know something valuable. Does that make sense?
Exactly.
That's
That
where
does
I
make
think
sense.
that comes
Exactly.
from.
My mom, she has always said this to me. My mother is she's my shiro. And she says, true success moves in silence, and it's proven when it gets on the platform. And
I love that.
she just told me, listen, you don't have to explain to people who you are. When you stand up, let me tell you, you will get their attention.
That's the truth.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
I have come to the place that we as women, we don't have to say, well, to be honest, and the fact is, this is what you need.
Right.
And
You're
y'all
right.
know, I don't even have it anymore where I go, to be honest. No, the fact is,
Right.
this is what you need, and this is what I can do, and I'm here to fulfill your need. So yeah, go ahead.
But if you think about it, like just think of a setting when you've heard "to be honest," someone say "to be honest" to you, you automatically go on the defense. Like, so what you been doing
Doing
this
the
whole
whole time.
Right.
Yeah.
You've been lying. So now you want to be honest, and
Yeah.
so it puts you on the defense, which goes into that insecurity and feeling like you're not enough, and it's self-projecting, projecting out.
Yeah.
So they've gone over so many other things. It's like a list of 5 things, and I think you should go and check the article out,
Definitely.
ladies, as to 5 things that we do that we should not do in a professional setting. Now, I'm excited about our next guest. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Do you want to introduce her?
awesome.
Because we got to go to a commercial break soon.
Well, I think that you would do a lovely job.
Okay. Dr. Felice Carlton is coming right after this commercial break, so you want to stay tuned because she's going to blow your socks off. I promise she is. And you want to stay right there, watch these commercials, and come back. We're going to have Dr. Felice Carlton. All right. Bye-bye.
Come advertise with Block 4D Productions. We are here to make sure your business, church, and brand is known. If you have any questions, please contact our sales team at 888-461-3711. Again, our sales team at 888-461-3711. Block 4D Productions, where we make your dreams reality.
Welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us. We've got an exciting guest here with us. I'm so interested to hear her story. We've got Dr. Felice Carlton with us. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you, ladies, for having me. It's a pleasure to be
Yes.
here.
Yeah. So, now I need you to let me know, where are you from?
The big city.
The big city.
Okay,
We're
yes.
Stoplight Town, actually. I was raised in Rocky Point, North Carolina. I went to grade school in Wilmington, so New Hanover, Gregory, Virgo. I went to all those schools. But so all of my upbringing though are from rural areas. My parents, like my grandparents, were farmers, and so I've always had this passion for rural health because I've had a lot of family members to die prematurely and at young ages of diseases that were preventable. They weren't necessarily getting the best care. And there really wasn't a lot of good access to care in general. And when they achieved care, it wasn't from someone who looked like them. And so we already know within our community, sometimes there can be a stigma for getting health care, especially in men, you know?
Yes, it is.
And so it's like men need that strong woman to force them to go get that checkup, you know, to force them to go do things. And I noticed in my family, like when wives died off, the men kind of withered away because they didn't get care, or if they did, they wouldn't ask questions. You know, they go to the doctor and they say, "Oh, what's wrong?" "Oh, nothing." But you haven't urinated in a day. I mean, that's the issue. You know, when they were embarrassed. You know, so I had a lot of families dying of prostate cancer and heart attacks and stroke, and it just really put a passion in me that I want to bring good care to those areas. And I also have a kind of a two-part passion. So I had a really strong mentor growing up who really kind of taught me everything that I think it took to get to the next level. She was that go-getter woman, the mother, the entrepreneur, you know, the person that went back to school, had a military career, and she dropped dead suddenly. And I mean, I'm leaving 3 young children. And so it just really shook me. And she exemplified the high-achieving woman to me. You know, she was that person I thought I wanted to be like, but I realized that she is an example of so many of us as women. You know, on the outside, we're beautiful, but on the inside, we're grinding behind the scenes when nobody's paying attention. You know, whether it's starting a new business or going back to school, getting a certification, taking care of the family, but who's taking care of us? You know, who's really taking care of our health? You know, we're taking care of the kids and making sure everything happens for them, but what about us? So that's where my passion for health coaching has come, to help the high-achieving women, that go-getter, that driven woman who is forgotten. Really, you know, on the outside we look great, but on the inside, you know, we're starting to gain weight, blood pressures are going up, borderline diabetic. And so my goal in my company, what we do is I help high-achieving women, busy career women, entrepreneurs to lose weight, and also to have that balance in their life with their health and wellness. Because once you lose weight, things like blood pressures come down.
That's right.
You know, diabetes for some people can be cured just by losing weight. And I've seen it happen. You know, I had a client that I worked with, this person, it was actually a male, and he lost 35 pounds in 3 months with working with me, and he was able to get off of 60 units of insulin every single month. Like, that's life-changing.
That's amazing.
You know, that's life-changing.
That's huge.
So that's where my passion for all this comes from, that we can truly make health a priority, and we can make it fit into our busy lives. It doesn't have to be success or health. It can be a little bit of both.
Well, I this subject to me is important. It's very important. I used to weigh 320 pounds.
Wow, you look amazing.
And
congratulations.
Thank you. And I was so driven to get success and never to return back to where I've been to. And I never lived a balanced life. And I almost lost everything that was important to me trying to gain success. So have you seen women that it's just like, I've got to get to the next place. I got to get to the next thing that's going to make me something, instead of really being okay with being who they are and knowing that if they nurture who they are, that they can become what they want.
Exactly. Yes, I do see that a lot. But I would say for the women that I see, I personalize my approach with them. So for that same woman, her child is the most important thing in her life. That's why she's going after that big goal, to provide that financial fortitude for her child. You know, so I take it from the perspective of, you know, it's so important that you are present in your child's life. You know, how would your child feel if, you know, you accomplish this big goal and big success, but you missed out on some of the most important parts of their life? So I tie their health goal to what's really important to them at the heart level. Because all of us will always put someone else ahead of ourselves. You know, we always put ourselves on the back burner. But it's okay to take care of yourself, because by taking care of yourself, you can take care of them. And so that's how I kind of approach it, depending on the person. You know, everyone's different. Some people are just go-getters anyhow. We all have that kind of nature, that drive. You know, we all know each other when we see each other. You know, it's like something about you. I'm like, oh, okay, you know. But, and I've been that high-achieving woman. I still am the high-achieving woman. And I know when I first started my doctorate program, I was working full-time as a registered nurse, 40 hours a week. My doctorate program required 40 hours a week of studying. I was building a brand new business from scratch. So I know what it's like to not have to sleep, you know? Entrepreneurs, we know what that's like. And, you know, I was beginning to gain weight. My blood pressure was beginning to go up. And as a nurse, my background in nursing, I knew the health consequences of what was going to happen if I kept down that path. So I decided to take a change and make a decision. And based upon some things that have helped me, now I'm able to help other ladies. Because it's easy to say, oh, you need to do this, this, and this, and exercise this many days. But at the end of the day, if you never experienced it, I'm not going to say, how can you tell me? Because there is knowledge out there. But it's a different heart connection. It's something that we can relate to each other about.
I think it's, I call it theoretical knowledge. It's by theory I can do it. But now tell me a little bit, because I was so interested in listening to you while we were in the green room, kind of talking about, while you were getting your makeup done, your retreat. It resonated with me. Because it just to me, it was something that I've always wanted to do for women, but I want to know more about what you have done for women.
Okay, so in the spirit of high achieving, on top of all the school and clinicals and treating patients and building a business, you know, I'm a person of faith. So I'm a person of faith, and I have a strong belief that if you are inspired and God has told you to do something, you need to go forward. Whether you're afraid, whether you don't have the resources, whether it doesn't make sense at the time, you have got to do it. Because there are other people who are waiting at the other end for the gift that you have. But if you are not in position and you don't take that leap forward, their life will never be changed. So I was inspired to do a women's retreat at the beginning of this year. It was in January. It was in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It was called A Renewed You, a mind, body, and spirit retreat. And it was a relaxing getaway for goal-driven, high-achieving women to get away, to step away from their daily environment, to be poured into, to be rejuvenated, to be nurtured. It was mind, body, spirit, and soul. So we focused on mindset, on goal setting, on relaxation, health tips. Every person left with a strategy workbook that they could take back home. You know, because I wanted it to be personalized. I don't believe in the one size fits all. One size does not fit all. It will never fit all. And each person also left with a personalized health and wellness plan, because it was important for me not to just inspire people, because people get inspired at church and other events, and they go back to their life, nothing changes, and then they get the same poor results. The next year they're a little bit heavier. They're a little bit more stressed out. So my plan was to have a tool, strategies that they could have even when they went home. So that was the thing that was unique about my particular retreat. And ladies have contacted me since then, you know, saying how they have just received so many breakthroughs, and it was just life-changing to be around like-minded women. Because sometimes we as women are afraid to be vulnerable, you know, and we have to be we have to be careful who we can be vulnerable around. We know that everyone doesn't have your best interest in mind. But when you're around like-minded women who are secretly struggling with the same thing as you, but they don't want to talk about it either. You know, and so sometimes just opening up and just letting people share with each other, makes the world of difference.
That's awesome. You know what I think is awesome, a good thing is that for our viewers, I think everybody watching can relate to exactly what you're saying. And I think us here personally, I know for me it hits on a personal level because I've been on that other end of the spectrum as well. You know, trying to raise a child, hold down a job, start a business, get involved with other things. Yes. And it's like before you know it, you're going. I mean, I just had this conversation today with someone, and then it's like, all right, what about me though?
Right.
When do I take the time for me to be still?
Right.
So that constant balance is so important for anybody. Yeah. I mean, it's phenomenal.
And for
so
some
this is
time,
great.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
For some women, we have to get away because we're not going to take that quiet time.
Right.
No,
We can say, oh, I don't have anything to do, but we always have stuff to do.
Yeah.
Even if you
We're
just
always
stay home,
busy.
you're going to start cleaning, you're going to start cooking, you're going to start getting ready for the week, you're going to, take care of these things. But when you are intentionally away, and you're somewhere like a nice resort, and you're not allowed to talk on your phone and answer your emails, it's just a different me time.
Yes.
You know, and that's when breakthroughs come through, when you're in that quiet moment where you're undisturbed, your mind, your soul is open to receive. That's when breakthroughs really come, you know, for women. And that's honestly where I was inspired to do this retreat by going to someone else's event. And, you know, I'd been so busy thinking I'm having quiet time, but it's really like, okay, I got 4 minutes of time. Okay, all right. Okay, done with that. So let's go. But when I had that quiet time, I realized that I was the one who was supposed to bring this forward, because at the time I felt, you know how we do go through big things, we don't always feel like we're the right one.
Right.
You know, like we see other people like, oh, I'm so happy for them, but you don't think that
you should
me,
make
you
that
know, exactly. You know, we're all dealing with our own insecurities, you know, but we portray all our strengths to the most, you know. So I'm like, you know, I'm not the one. You know, at this time I was, you know, in school, I'm trying to build a business, and you know, sometimes starting a business from scratch, it's tough. It's very tough. It's not like working, you know, it's not like putting in shifts and you know that this income is going to come at this, you know, it's a completely different dynamic. So. To do a retreat on top of that, I was like, oh, I'm not the one. But to hear other people say that it was life-changing made all the world of difference. You know?
Are you a fan of the Live Free Talk Show? If not, become one today by following us on all social media platforms listed below. And also add yourself to our website at www.livefreetalkshow.com. Again, that's www.livefreetalkshow.com. Thank you for joining the Live Free movement.
So I think you're magnificent, and I think you're so brilliant. I'm so glad I have met you.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure.
And really having continual conversation with you is going to be important to me. Now, could you tell the audience, how do we keep in touch with you?
That is a very good question. So the best way to keep in contact with me is actually by joining my email list. And I have a website where I give you a free tool, a free kit, a gift, and it's called 13 Unknown Causes of Weight Gain in Successful Women. And so there are medical reasons that we don't know are going on. So that's where my nursing and nurse practitioner part comes in to let you know, hey, you may want to get this checked. You're working hard, you're doing what you're supposed to, you're not seeing the results. Have you thought about your thyroid? Have you thought about other things? You know, and so the website for that is bit.ly/Dr. Felice. And I'll spell it. bit.ly/DOCTORFELICE. And once you're on my email list, you know, you can get the inspiration that I send out, the health tips, you'll know about the next retreat, some upcoming courses that are about to launch, the High Achievers Mind and Body Makeover course, lots of different holistic things that I got going on.
So we'll put that on the screen for you so you can just be able to follow. Just write it down and follow Dr. Felice, because she is amazing. And I believe that you have a conviction for being able to coach people and help them to be a better person.
Oh, thank you.
Now, you've seen her here at Live Free Talk Show, and I want you to stay tuned because we still have more things to talk about right after this message. All right, follow us. Thank you.
Has anyone ever told you one of the largest contributions to mental illness is your diet? There is so much to learn concerning eating to live. Tomorrow, watch us as Dr. Alpine tells us more about living free in our health.
Thank you, Dr. Felice, for joining us again.
It has been such a pleasure. I'm so excited to
wonderful.
stay.
So, guys, July is the National Month of Anti-Boredom. So, I want to ask you, ladies, what do you do to curb that boredom? Well, how do you stay active?
First of all, I didn't even know July was National Anti-Boredom Month. So let me start there.
Me either.
We've learned something new.
We've learned something new.
Agreed.
We learned something new today. I didn't know it was National Anti-Boredom Month, but at this point in my life, I I would love to be bored.
I agree.
Hello?
I agree.
Hello. Yeah.
Just be able to relax and
Yeah.
do anything.
I would
Right.
love to twiddle my
Yes.
thumb and say, "Oh, I'm bored." My kids, though, they tell me all the time, "Mommy, why do they say that? Do they just wake up thinking I'm bored?"
Yeah.
All kids do.
Your
They do.
your baby don't do that? Like, "Mommy, I'm bored."
No, absolutely not. My child is very active, and I keep her active.